Imagine this. You wake up one day and realize every choice you've ever made wasn't truly yours. The beliefs you defend, the desires you chase, even the anger you cling to, all were subtly implanted by unseen forces. You were never free, only convinced you were. This is the paradox of manipulation. The most dangerous chains are the ones you don't feel. Society, tradition, and even those you trust have shaped you, not with force, but with whispers, ideas so familiar they feel like your own. How much of you is really you? Nietzsche warned of this. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. What if your thoughts are not your own, but borrowed? What if your life is a performance, scripted by invisible hands? The question isn't whether you've been manipulated, but how deeply, and more urgently, how do you break free? You were born into a world that had already decided what you should want: success, approval, comfort. These desires feel natural, inevitable, as if they sprang from your own soul. But Nietzsche saw the truth. Morality is the herd instinct in the individual. Your deepest fears and longings were imprinted long before you could resist. Why does this happen? Because power thrives on unconscious compliance. From childhood, you were conditioned, rewarded for obedience, punished for defiance. Schools, media, and institutions mold minds not to question, but to conform. Jung called this the shadow, the suppressed self, buried under layers of expectation. Schopenhauer saw it as the will of society overpowering the will of the individual, the greatest trick manipulation plays, making you believe you chose your chains. You cling to ideologies, identities, even miseries, convinced they define you, when in truth, they were handed to you. The more certain you are of your free will, the tighter the grip becomes, but there is a way out if you dare to see the strings. The tragedy is not that you are manipulated, it's that you live the manipulation, mistaking it for life itself. Your relationships, ambitions, even your rebellions are often just reactions to invisible scripts. Cognitive biases, like confirmation bias and the bandwagon effect, keep you trapped in echo chambers of pre-approved thought. Neurologically, your brain rewards conformity. Dopamine surges when you fit in. Cortisol floods when you stand apart. Culture, meanwhile, weaponizes shame to silence dissent. Huxley's warning rings true. You shall love your servitude. The most oppressive cages don't have bars. They have applause, trends, and the illusion of choice. Worst of all, this erodes your essence. Sartre saw it. Hell is other people, not because they're cruel, but because their gaze turns you into an object, a character in their story. You lose yourself in roles, employee, consumer, follower, until one day you forget who you were before the world told you who to be, but beneath the layers of conditioning, something wild and untamed remains. The question is, are you willing to unearth it? The first act of defiance is not a shout, but a silence. Stop. Step outside the river of expectations and question everything. Nietzsche's remedy was to become what one is. But first, you must destroy what you are told to be. Begin with ruthless self-interrogation. Why do you want what you want? Is it yours or borrowed? Expose the lies you've mistaken for truth. Frankl's insight is vital here. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. Seize that space. Next, cultivate intellectual sovereignty. Seek thinkers who unsettle you, not comfort you. Embrace solitude, not loneliness, but the raw clarity of being unobserved. Let your values be forged in doubt, not inherited in dogma. History's freest minds, Diogenes, Kierkegaard, Woolf, all shared one trait: the courage to be absurd, to reject validation, to stand unflinching in their own truth, The path is simple, but not easy. Stop obeying ghosts. Start thinking as if your life depended on it, because it does. Here is the hidden axis on which everything turns. You are never powerless, only persuaded that you were. The masterstroke of manipulation is making you believe freedom must be granted rather than seized. Nietzsche's Zarathustra proclaims, you must become who you are, not a follower, not a rebel. Yourself, the final revelation. No one can manipulate you without your unconscious consent. The moment you withdraw it, the moment you stop fearing isolation, ridicule, or uncertainty, their spells shatter. True power begins when you realize you are the architect of your own mind. This is not transcendence. This is not enlightenment. It is something fiercer, a homecoming. A return to the ungovernable core that existed before the world named you. Now, look inward. The door was never locked. It only seemed that way because you never tried the handle. Walk through.